So, new here Hellboy movie. Just saw it, just came out. Here's the thing. Guillermo del Toro has inimitable charm. And the same can be said for Ron Perlman. Their movies in this franchise came out. They largely predated this, like, modern wave of, like, uh, glutting superhero movies that are, like, relatively consistent in their ability to take the essences of their source material and adapt it in a way that's simultaneously, like, cinematic and palatable to wide audiences, as it retains the, like, outlandishness of its origins, you know? You can still have, like, a floating space godhead that serves as, like, a bar or whatever for the Guardians of the Galaxy in a movie that has, like, all the, like, charm and, like, mass appeal of, like, The Empire Strikes Back, right? Like, you can take these, like, concepts into incredible directions and still make good movies out of them. Like, it's, I mean, it's craft, it's storytelling. It's not, like, a new thing, but the last, like, decade has just seen it, like, become the norm, right? Like, it's not like unusual when, like, a good superhero movie comes out. It's just expected. And, like, when a bad one comes out, or, like, when one doesn't hit, like, people say, "Oh, look at that, that's a mess, isn't that?" And it's like, it wasn't even a bad movie. It just wasn't the greatest thing of all time, of the year or whatever. It just, it is mediocre at worst. Whatever, that's not the point. I'm saying the Hellboy movies came out before good comic book movies were just, like, expected, you know? Like, the last one came out, like, right after Iron Man, like, same summer. I remember that. And, like, I was having a good time seeing, like, crazy elf fights. It was great. So I'd say that those Hellboy movies actually did a very good job. They weren't ashamed to be Hellboy movies, right? They reveled in it. It was great. They didn't, like, take Hellboy and shrink his hand down or make him look like some, like, random guy off the street who just happened to have, like, slightly redder skin. He was Hellboy, you know? And then, here's the thing. Here's what I heard. I think I remember hearing this when I was, like, 14. In the comics, Hellboy has the right hand of Doom. But they thought, oh man, what are the chances our actor is actually gonna, like, be left-handed? We're gonna have to put it on his left hand so he can still, like, fire a gun and do whatever he needs to do with his dominant hand. But no, Ron Perlman says, I'm Ron Perlman, I'm a boss, I'm ambidextrous as fuck. You're gonna put that thing on my right hand, it's still gonna be the right hand of Doom. Left hand of Doom, fair enough, but not the same ring. So, right hand of Doom, let's do it. Let's doom it. Anyway, so I had an affection for those movies. It's hard not to like Guillermo del Toro. It's hard not to, like, have a special place in your heart for him, right? He's the kind of guy who creeps in, He like remakes some, like, random television horror movie from the 70s, and it's the greatest thing of all time. That is what we do, not what we do in the shadows. Don't be afraid of the dark. Yeah, that sounds right. Because Are You Afraid of the Dark was that 90s horror anthology on, like, YTV or whatever that everyone has a nostalgia bone for now. And, I remember that. But anyway, I think I probably preferred Goosebumps because there seemed to be, like, a wider variety in the books, at least. It had, like, and that is what I really attached myself to. There were a lot of those books that I liked. But, I had some good times with the Are You Afraid of the Dark series, too. I can't deny it. Anyway, so when the marketing for this new Hellboy movie first came out, it seemed to emphasize the like more horrific aspects. I thought, oh, is this going to be like a dark, dour take on Hellboy, without the the charming wit of Guillermo's iteration? And I didn't really pay much attention. I didn't even like know that I was going to see it. Uh, but I heard some good things. I heard that it was still going to be a fun ride, and I thought, all right, let's give it a go. And I was at as like the day of the movie neared, I actually thought, I actually want to see this. Like, I'm going to see Shazam first, but I think that this is going to be like the next thing I see after that. I'm not even going to see one of like those random comedies that are coming out because I love those too. But no, I'm going to see Hellboy first. Like, I'm actually excited now. Let's do it. And went and it was good. And here's the thing, the tone, like if it had actually been like a straighter horror movie, I might have actually missed Guillermo's works more. But instead, the tone was actually quite similar to that. I thought, all right, you know what? Putting aside Guillermo del Toro's awesomeness, I can enjoy this for what it is. Honestly, the main difference was probably the preponderance of like hard rock in the soundtrack. I don't specifically remember, but that doesn't really seem like the sort of thing Guillermo will do. But I could be wrong. I honestly don't remember that well. It was. I don't really think that I've seen either of the movies since the last one came out 11 years ago. And the soundtrack's not what I remember. It often isn't. No knock against like whoever did that. Against the guy who did that. I'm sure that was great. That generally doesn't stay with me too much. Which is weird, whatever, I'm a singer, but whatever. That's not how I generally approach movies. There are exceptions, sure, but the score or whatever just doesn't stick with me that often. Anyway, I walked in slightly late, but I wasn't actually that late for my habits. The first thing I saw was like some sort of like masked wrestling match, and that actually felt like a fitting omen for the entire movie and its general feel. You have the machismo, you have the hard rock, the weird costumes and like aesthetics, and a sort of endearing ridiculousness that is sold in large part by its like avowed lack of self-seriousness. So that's my take on Hellboy. Fun ride. Not too different from the originals, but it's a good thing by itself. So, Hellboy, dude. And before I go, I want to say that my personal favorite boy from hell is probably Damon Hellstrom, the son of Satan. He's not actually the son of Satan, but he is the offspring of one of many demons in the Marvel Universe to claim that title. And sometimes he's also called Damon Hellstrom is his name, and sometimes he calls himself Hellstorm because he wants to hit that right on the nose. So yeah, if you need another boy from hell, that guy is a good one to go with. What I'm talking about now, hellish boys. I should have ended it before I went off on this tangent because that's a weirder place to end it, but that is where it is being ended.